I remember I was dating this woman. She's an ex of mine. I remember she was complaining about not having, a certain amount of money for certain things. One night she went to sleep. I got up and I went in her purse. For some reason, women can feel when you're not laying next to them, right? So she got up and seen that I went and I was doing something with her purse. First reaction, not using logic, was to accuse me of stealing money from her. What are you doing in my purse? I pulled out the wad of cash.
All right, guys, let's go to jump into the content for today's video. Didn't really expect this coming from this guy. He's a comedian. He does a lot of skits. At least I seen him a lot on Instagram doing a bunch of skits. And he sat down and had a pretty interesting conversation, I would say. Talked about a lot of different topics, touched on relationships, touched on him being able to grow and build his brand up and finding success and removing negative women and negative people from his life. Conversation had a lot of twists and turns in it. And so I thought it would be pretty interesting to share and kind of go over with you guys. Let's jump into it.
When it's coming to we have talked about the younger generation a little bit, I would say women between 25 and 30, let's just say that number. Dependence. How much dependence are you finding that they have towards the person that they're seeing or dating?
They have a lot of dependence for that person because they can't provide for themselves. Like what is it? What else can you do? Like why are you here? Why are you here? What are you dependent on me for? Who are you dependent on before me? She was dependent on her kids before you because she acting like she balling out, but little do we know her children get disability checks.
Oh my God.
So it's the illusion that they play. Make sure y'all pay attention to that because it's an illusion out here.
Right. I have a feeling that women are so sneaky that they're making transactions with multiple men at the same time, and we will never know.
Yes, they are. Know. Like, I've seen something and I reposted it. A woman just went to jail because she had 3 men under the impression that the child was theirs and she was getting child support from all 3 men.
Brilliant.
How desperate do you have to be to seek money through your children?
And that's just another reason why paternity tests should be mandatory before you could even go that route. Because there's always going to be people out there. If you can find a loophole to manipulate something in a system, somebody always going to find a way. And if women know that there's a way that they can get not 1, not 2, but 3 checks from a man, from different men, child support, and that's going to be able to secure her some funds so that way she doesn't have to work as hard or depending on how much money she was getting, work at all, then the ones who are conniving and deceitful, they're going to take that route every time.
Very desperate because that's what women do.
Survival, son.
We're in survival mode. When you're in survival mode, it's like, okay, I'm about to gain more hours at work. I'm about to pick up some shifts, or I'm about to put in this overtime with interviews. No. What's the women's ideology? I'm about to put 3 niggas on child support.
Damn.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
How much time do you think she's going to do for that?
They need to put her under the jail.
Probation, maybe.
He probably right. He said probation.
I know.
Not even a lie.
About, that a little bit because I feel like there's a lot of posts that women are saying lately that they say if you want a woman to be obedient towards you, you have to take them out of survival mode. Women want to be taken out of survival mode if they're going to cater to you, basically.
You take a woman out of survival mode, she still won't listen. Listen, I've taken multiple women out of survival mode. I've said this on here plenty of times. I've given them, shelter. I've given them cars. I've given them salaried jobs, the knowledge to survive. I've given them resources and networking with all connections. Do you think they care about that? With all this power and structure, they're still going to talk back to you. They're going to think they're above you when I've brought you to this level.
So taking a woman out of survival mode doesn't really change much.
Doesn't really change much. It ups the ante. She gets big-headed, but you have to humble them. Take everything away.
My God, man.
I think that goes more into you can't help somebody who first doesn't want to help themselves. And so it doesn't matter what sob story or, tearful eyes they can work up, because sometimes, women can do that. They'll give you some great, amazing, tragic story as far as how life is so hard for them. But if you don't see them actually putting in the actual work, grind and hustling to try and get ahead, then you got to leave them where they're at, because they won't appreciate it. People won't appreciate it. I think that's more of a people thing, where they're not willing to actually do anything, but they want a handout for everything. Those type of people you need to stay far away from. There's this idea that you got lucky. Oh, the only reason you got that opportunity is you were lucky. You were, fortunate. It just happened to be you. I happen to personally believe that people make their own luck. I'm not, okay, you won the lottery. Okay, fantastic. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you getting an opportunity. You meet someone who can elevate you because they have connections and now you're connected to them. You take a chance and you start that business. Those aren't lucky circumstances. That's just you doing things. And then because you consistent enough, then you end up having opportunity that comes about due to that consistency.
Round zero.
Jesus.
Square one.
What's the dating protocol for the SneakyVerse? Do you go out on dates, or is it no, I'm just pulling up and that's it?
No, remember, they come seeking me. I don't have to go anywhere. They pull up to me.
Do you go on dates though?
No. Fuck, I'm going on a date for.
Cut to the chase.
Cut to the. They know who I am.
When's the last date you were on? Like, how many years ago did you go on a date?
I don't know. Time is different in the SneakyVerse. I can't recall.
Oh, that's crazy. I think women just like they just like destroy your dreams and they ruin you or some shit like that.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've had a few women deter me from meeting my goals.
They try to take you out.
When I say deter, yes, because they come equipped with so many problems and their insecurities are projected onto you to where it starts to eat you alive, and you'd be like, maybe I need to stop doing this, or maybe I should, just to, satisfy your woman, right? What they say, happy wife, happy life. But not only is she tearing you down, keeping you away from your dreams, now you're at a stagnant stage to where I could be doing this, I want to do this, but in order for her to be happy or for her not to say anything, I'm a keep the peace. Why are we keeping the peace when we should be chasing our dreams or ascending to our goals or accomplishing something greater than the person who's insecure, in front of you? Like, we got to stop doing that. We got to stop trying to satisfy someone else at the liberty of, crushing our dreams or just not being able to get that fulfillment out of life, because life, you only get one.
Listen, what he's saying is that we have to focus on ourselves as men. We already know the world don't care about men. Unless you can offer something tangible, you're an asset, the world really doesn't care about men. And so we have to focus on ourselves, because the women, they will always be there. We have to, because if you don't, and you end up giving so much of your time and your energy to women, and you do this for years and years and years, one day you'll wake up and you'll be filled with regret, not just for the fact that you didn't become the person who you felt you had the potential to become, but then also you'll feel regret because you feel like you wasted so much time giving your energy to women and getting so little back in return. And so don't sacrifice the long-term goal for what may seem like at that time short-term satisfaction. Even with having the right woman in your corner, there will be benefits. I'm married. There are benefits when you are with somebody and you guys are aligned and you're on the same page and you're both moving in the same direction. There are definitely benefits as far as things go. But even with all of that, it's still distractions. It's still distractions, because if you are having a healthy relationship, you want to make sure you're present. You're considering that other person's feelings. You're not just completely neglecting them. And so those are all distractions, because distractions aren't necessarily a negative thing. They're just something that's taking your attention away from your main objective.
Yeah.
I'm not about to waste my time because you feel a certain way or it's bothering you. I don't give a f. I'm about to keep going because that's what everybody else wants you to do. I'm not going to say, hey, stop doing this because I don't want you to do it. I'm going to keep egging you on to do it. I'm going to keep motivating you to be better. Women take the motivation out of fucking things and then expect you to be here, here, and here when you can't, because they're the ones keeping you stagnant in the career, your job field, or whatever. They need to let this shit go.
I think people fear how big somebody can become or the success of the person that they're with because they know more opportunities are going to come to that person, and they're afraid that they'll lose that person once those opportunities come.
Yes.
So they try to hold on to you and like, no, you can't be big.
Man, I let go of somebody, and look where I'm at now. I've created a whole brand. Mm-hmm. I'm the SneakyVerse in itself. I'm out doing things, meeting new people, making connections, and making money that I've never even imagined that I could ever make. I've reached heights that I've never, whatever thought that I've grown to.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is what happened. This is the epitome of what happens when you let go of that negativity and start doing your own thing.
Amazing, man.
I think what he's saying is a public service announcement that you got to get rid of negative people in your life. If there's somebody and they bring you negativity, they're not adding any value, they are taking away from your peace, they got to get the door. You got goals, you got things you're trying to accomplish. You have a plan of action that you're trying to execute. You don't have time for people who don't add to where you're trying to go in life. And that's the fact of the matter. Some people got to get left behind. And I think this is just a message to men that we need to be better, because women are going to be women. But if you come in and you're focused, you don't move off your square, you set the standard, you set the boundaries, you do all the things prior from day one, then you filter out a whole lot of unnecessary drama in your life. And whatever you do encounter is handled vastly different than if you are moving through life recklessly with no plan, with no agenda, and no boundaries or standards. Because there's always going to be an issue with women. I don't care if you get the best one out there. She the most submissive. She cook, she clean, she do everything in the bedroom that you could ask. It's always going to be something. Because that's life. And there's no such thing as perfect. And so the question really is, how do you prepare yourself so that way when those problems come up, you know exactly how to handle those type of conversations in order to get to a resolution. But the question that every man got to ask himself is, what do you want out of your life? You just want to feel sorry for yourself because you don't feel like you were dealt a fair hand because of your circumstances? You want to blame everybody else for your problems, but actually not do anything about it, but sit around and play video games all day? What do you want out of your life? And that's something you got to get crystal clear on. And then you also have to become extremely disciplined in pursuing it. Even with myself, I had to figure that out. Now, the discipline part, I had that at a young age. It was just something I was disciplined when I was younger. I took martial arts. I played sports. I had a lot of different avenues where you had to be disciplined. But the direction part, that's not something I figured out until I got much older in life. And so what is it you want out of your life? What are you willing to be highly disciplined on in order to achieve your goal? What is it? Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys have to say on that. And most importantly, you can't allow fear to get in your way, because that's going to be there too.
Man, I'm thriving. Look at me. I'm fat too. First time I was on the podcast, I was skinny. Look at me. I'm fat now. I'm eating good. I'm doing well.
You look fine, man. You look good. You look
not fat. I'm bulky. That's all. I've been in the gym too, so I'm fine. But
yeah,
what I'm trying to say is life is good.
Yeah.
Life is good when you don't have that negative energy surrounding you.
Right.
Yeah, man. People got to cool out, man. Just cool out. But you know what it really is? I think a lot of people have like mental disturbances and they don't realize it.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite sayings is that a lot of people are mentally ill. They just don't have the diagnosis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we just because you didn't go to a therapist and they didn't diagnose you with it, or a doctor and they didn't diagnose you, doesn't mean you're not crazy.
You want to know what I think is a mental illness?
But
being broke is a mental illness. It's a form of mental illness. Mm-hmm. And when you keep broke niggas around you, they start to dilute you with their same, you know, brokenness, extremities, and things that keep another person broke in that state of mind.
Crabs in a barrel.
Yeah.
We gotta stop hanging around these poverty poachers and whatnot.
Poverty poachers.
Like, we gotta do better. You gotta surround yourself with people that want to see you do good, do better in life, and being broke is not one of them. So
you gotta realize,
remove those people from your lives. People
are like, their patterns repeat themselves over and over and over again. And if a person's pattern is being broke or not knowing how to save and build their wealth, then they're always going to be broke until they break that pattern. It doesn't just magically change one day like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing the same thing over and over again and eventually I'm going to become rich. It's like, no, you have to break certain cycles in order for you to flourish in whatever direction you're trying to get to.
I remember I was dating.
And what he said right there is the perfect example to why whenever you hear this conversation, and it takes place every day we hear it, about how much money a man needs to make. And you'll hear he need to make 6 figures because she's looking for financial stability. That's the excuse that we consistently hear over and over and over again. And the reality is, what does that matter? That person has a repeated cycle where they don't even understand how to manage their money. He can make 200K, but if he has poor money management skills, that 200K don't mean a thing. Versus the other man who could be making 70K and he knows exactly how to budget. He knows exactly how to live within his means, prioritize what he needs to prioritize, and be comfortable doing it. But because you have some women out there who they're so fixated on superficial things, and money can buy you a lot of materialistic, superficial things, they equate, well, he got a lot of money, so that means that we'll be good. And there's a lot of people who make over 6 figures and they're still struggling. And it's not for a lack of money. It's for a lack of financial knowledge.
This woman, she's an ex of mine, you know, got the broke mentality. Women are notorious for not being able to save their money, but they want to utilize yours, right? So I remember she was complaining about not having, you know, a certain amount of money for certain things. So I'm just taking it in, me being the good guy that I am. I'm listening to it, but I'm responding in a way to where it's like, okay, I hear you. We're going to take care of it. We'll do something about it. Give us a second. Give me a moment. Let me think. Let me figure it out, because you're not going to figure it out. You never figure it out. Let me figure it out for you. So I remember one night she went to sleep. I got up and I went in her purse and she only had a certain amount of money. It wasn't a lot. It was $50 she had. I went and added $2,500 and I think it was like 97 because I had a few singles in there.
Damn.
Dollars to her purse, the wad of cash. Well, for some reason, women can feel when you're not laying next to them. Right. So she got up and seen that I went and I was doing something with her purse. First reaction, not using logic, was to accuse me of stealing money from her.
Wow.
Like, nigga, I knew you was in here doing something. I knew I couldn't trust you. My girls was right. And I knew that I couldn't trust you. I couldn't with you. Get, you know, I'm leaving because this was my crib. You gonna tell me to get out. But I'm like, instead of, you know, accusing me, why don't you utilize the little bit of logic that you do have and question? You know, because you guys are quick to question. Why don't you question instead of accuse me? Ask me, what am I doing in your purse? She's like, all right, I already know. So what are you doing in my purse? I pulled out the wad of cash. I'm adding $2,597 to your purse, to the $50 that you did have. She's like, oh my God, because that was my last money. I'm like, I know, because your purse felt light when I picked it up. So I knew this was your last, but me being the person that I am, I'm helping you out. Women don't like to use logic. They go straight to accusations and accusing you of, you know, the most devious things and most devious acts that they can possibly think of. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the core issue with what he just said. And he did mention that was his ex, so he's not with her anymore. He got out that situation, whether it was immediately after that or whatever, sometime later. But the core problem with this is sometimes, and this is what people do. I don't think this is a man or woman thing, but sometimes you attract toxic people because that's your type, but it's just covered and masked as something else. Whether it be she got all of the assets physically that you're attracted to, and so you tend to dismiss some of the other things that don't seem like a big deal until they are. And so when you do that sort of thing, and then people show their true colors and they come out, that's also a time for self-reflection and say, I need to stop dealing with this kind of woman, especially if it's a repeated cycle where you're always dealing with like the hood type or the women who are just ratchet or disrespectful or inconsiderate or entitled. If you're always dealing with a certain caliber of woman, wow, yeah, there's some, women out here who are bad. You also got to sit there and look in the mirror and say, I may need to actually change up how I go about pursuing women because it's not working out too well. But guys, I'll go ahead and I'll stop it right there. As always, guys, let me know your questions, your comments, thoughts, and your feedback. Go ahead and drop them down below. I appreciate when you guys chime in. Don't forget, you enjoy any part of the content, make sure you smash the like button for more. Subscribe to the channel. I'll leave a link to the entirety of that interview if you guys want to go ahead and check it out for yourself down below. And as always, until next time.